Hi everybody, this is Dan Stolberger. Welcome to this week's KFIR Middle East Update. Even though it's the week of February 20th, I'm doing this on a Wednesday because we are heading to Israel. And so this will be the last YouTube recording of any length. I'll just do a little promo while I'm in Israel as to what will be found in the PDF PowerPoint. And so my encouragement to you is to always, whether it's our Holy Ground website page, which is holygroundexplorations.com, or the YouTube page, there'll always be a link for the PDF PowerPoint for that week. Okay, so starting next week, your report will come from Israel. We are heading with our Talmudim group. It's our 11th year of doing this, and we'll be serving down in Sderot. Please keep us in your prayers, as well as working with Holocaust survivors up in the Or Akiva area, and then on to Jerusalem and the Galilee. We'll be back on the 20th. So let's get going as far as what's going on this week. Our news bites, I found this eerie, but the Israeli version of Burning Man, which is sort of the annual orgy of drugs and sex and idolatry, and that's been held in the Nevada deserts, upwards to 80,000 people coming out for that. There's going to be one held in April of this year. Guess where? Across the Jordan River from the biblical site of Sodom. Be prepared. If you're going to be in Sodom, I'd be looking up, not for the return, but for the fire and brimstone. Interesting. Hundreds gathered at the Western Wall last Sunday for a mass prayer time to keep the coronavirus at bay. Once again, Israel praying really literally for the world. This is sad, yet but true. In a cruelly ironic gesture, the Iranian government is planning to turn the burial site of Esther and Mordecai, two biblical Jewish heroes, as you know, into a Palestinian consular complex. It's kind of like right back at you. That's Iran. And then we have the Kinneret, or the Sea of Galilee, overflowing its banks, literally. I can't wait to see it. But I found this quote from one of the chief rabbis in Israel, a head scratcher, are interesting. 10 years ago, Israel was suffering from a horrible drought. And then someone asked Rabbi Kook when the Kinneret, or the Sea of Galilee, would be full, and the rabbi answered, when the Messiah arrives, the Kinneret, or the Galilee, will be full. Now, in Israel, they're telling us that in a few weeks, the Kinneret will be full for the first time since this rabbi made his statement. We've all been waiting for the return of our Messiah. Maybe it's right around the corner. The Kinneret is full. And then, last thing for our news bits, it looks like Israel is attempting or trying to expand its speed rail line to go all the way to the Western Wall, but Jordan is condemning that Israeli plan, so we'll have to wait and see. Articles for this week. Enough's Enough. That's the name of the first one. You'll see the terror balloons. This is slide 7. Ironically, what do they have written on it? I love you. What are they sending over? They're sending over soccer balls that are full with explosives. They're sending over incendiary devices to start fields on fire. No child should ever have to be taught not to touch kites or balloons or balls or other toys because they may explode. And over the last month, 35 balloons have been launched. Enough's enough. And then the Palestinians, went back from the United Nations somewhat with their tail between their legs with the so-called their peace agreement. But they've gone on record to say the Palestinian authorities committed to regional peace, but it will not strike peace unless its terms are met in full. And we're unable to find an Israeli partner to begin our negotiations with. That's their fallback position. And then, of course, Hamas, you'll see on the next slide, a poster on the Temple Mount of a Hamas terrorist aiming a gun at President Trump's face, calling for his assassination. There's a peace partner for you. And then a Gaza update I mentioned will be in Sderot in a few days. And Netanyahu met with those in this particular community and area near the Gaza border. And once again, I hate to put it this way, because the threats have always come back pretty empty, but it seems like it's ratcheting up once again. And the Prime Minister is thanking and praising the steadfastness of the residents in Gaza, and once again issuing a warning saying this time we'll take no prisoners, in so many words. And so we'll have to just wait and see what transpires, because as you know, this just keeps going back and forth. A legacy of hate. This is from our friends at the Palestinian Media Watch. Fake news in real time. See the picture here of a Palestinian reporter and an Israeli soldier telling him to move to the other side. Again, the soldier is basically saying, you're not safe here, go to the other side of the street. You can see the conversation in the slide. If you stay here, you're going to get run over, so go to the other side of the street and you can record from there. That's what took place. And then this is how the Palestinian reporter, once he went live, this is what he said. He said, one of the occupation soldiers is making us move away on a false claim that this is an Israeli road for Jews only and Palestinians are not allowed on it. That's what gets put out on the news, fake news, that is. Well, here's the reality. And then we have continued Iranian threats. You can read that on your own, but once again, whether it's the Revolutionary Guard or the Ayatollah himself, the threats to Israel that we can wipe you out, our rockets can hit every site, of every population site in Israel, and don't trust America. And if America gets involved in any of this, if they overstep their bounds or whatever, we will retaliate with harsh and calculated responses. So those are the threats. And then to wrap it up, my home team, the San Diego Padres, this is their spring training hat that you can see in slide number 13. Unfortunately, what they didn't realize is that some are staring at the logo, and it's hard for me to make it out, but I believe them and they see a swastika in it. And so the Pods have decided to put this one back on the shelf. And so I said, say it ain't so, Pods. I wouldn't want to go into the season with that stigma. So anyhow, that's this week's Middle East update. I look forward to reporting from Israel. And again, for the next 3 weeks, it'll be a PDF PowerPoint with just a splash on YouTube. So with that, shalom. Remember to pray for us and pray for the peace of Jerusalem.